All right, what is up? What's up, everyone? I hope you're having a great Wednesday. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're having an awesome day. Want to say what's up. My name is Paul Fisher, for those who don't know me. So nice to be jumping on here and sharing a little bit about stress. It was a topic of conversation this morning, so I thought I'd address it a little bit more and talk about some of my ways to live with less stress. I think we can all agree that there is stress out there. We deal with it every single day. There's no way around it a lot of times, but there is. So I want to share some of my favorite tips and some of my favorite things that I do, and then have a few things to offer afterwards. So so I have 5 tips on how to live with less stress. There's so many more, but I wanted to keep it short tonight and talk about my five favorite things. So hopefully you'll get some value out of this. So number 1 is simplify your schedule. So I think the two most stressful things a lot of people deal with are time and money. If you want to talk about the money side of things, we can dive into that. Maybe I'll do another live. You can reach out and I'd love to chat about that as well. But the time thing, our schedules are so busy. It's so hard to, connect with people, meet up with them, let alone talk on the phone. I mean, everything's text, 2 seconds, in and out now. And it feels like we're doing like 10 different things. In fact, earlier today, I should have posted this, maybe a little later. I took a picture of my work office here at home, and I had 3 computers going, and there was 3 different things going on. And so that was the opposite of simplifying my schedule and what I was working on and what my focus was. So I think number 1 is simplifying, what you're committing yourself to doing, how much you're saying yes to, the things that you feel obligated to do is a huge one. How you can do that is the second tip, is understand what's most important to you now, or even what's most important to you to get where you want to go. So maybe you have certain goals, maybe you have certain things going on, and you really want to achieve that in a certain amount of time. So those are the things that have to be prioritized. So understanding what those things are, I think, will help you make better decisions on your schedule, what you're doing, what you're committing yourself to. We talked about that tonight with Karis. We're going through this peanut OIT process, and she has swim lessons tonight, and those two things are not jiving too well together. And so maybe it's not giving up swimming, that was my initial thought, but more about picking a different day to do it, or finding another time or place to go or something like that. So really for us, the most important thing is to have her continue and get to the end of this peanut allergy process, so that she's no longer allergic to peanuts, which she's doing great. She's more than halfway through. She just went over the halfway point. But that's kind of what I'm talking about, is what is the priority? She loves swimming. She's doing so great at that. But for us right now, and maybe over the next 6 months, it's all about how do we get her to the point where she is beyond this peanut allergy. So same thing in your life. What are the things you're doing? What do you feel obligated to do? What do you want to do? What's going to help you get where you want to go? Those are always the things that I think are most important to understand. So then when your schedule seems so busy, you can really relate to or figure out what is most important and what you should be doing, and maybe some things that you can push off, have somebody else do, just not do it at all, and maybe stop committing to doing that in the future. The third thing, this is one of my favorites, and if you want like more tips on that, on this one, reach out. I'd love to share them. But develop one healthy habit this month. So what is one thing you can do? And some of the things I've been thinking about lately as part of a program I'm putting together are very, very basic things, like developing a better habit of sleeping, developing a better habit of hydrating and drinking more water throughout the day. Maybe switching from drinking, I don't know, something carbonated, something sugary to just water. And so making those just small healthy changes, they don't really take a lot of extra time. Maybe the sleeping does, but again, go back to your schedule. How can you find time? How can you cut some things out? How can you give up a habit maybe that isn't supporting whatever it is that you want to do? If you feel exhausted, maybe watching TV until late at night, the late night news or something like that isn't the best idea. And, maybe cutting that out and finding another way to get the news quicker, or whatever it is that you're watching or doing to get it quicker. Maybe you can find a new website that has a lot of the content that you really like and read that for 10 minutes right after dinner or something like that. And then you're not staying up so late to watch those things. So, just whatever that habit is, it can be simple. It doesn't have to be my new habit's going to the gym for 2 hours, or my new habit is going from, one thing like a meat eater to being vegan or something like that. It doesn't have to be, huge like that, but maybe having a healthy breakfast every morning. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. So that's one small change that you can do that can start to create other habits for yourself. And so that's number 3, is just develop that one habit that you can do this month that's going to help you feel better, because then ultimately your stress is going to go down. You're going to start developing other positive, healthy habits, and overall that's going to help. Number 4, this goes back to what I was mentioning with 3 computers on my desk. The 3 computers weren't even the worst part of my desk. There's like stuff all over it. But decluttering. I think decluttering for a lot of us helps us reduce stress, because it's not in the back of our mind like, oh, I got to clean up my desk, or my bedroom's a mess, or I haven't done the laundry in a couple weeks and it's starting to pile up. I was just talking with Allison about different rooms in our house that have become a little bit too cluttered, and that should be a project of ours, maybe an early spring cleaning, maybe something we can start to tackle even this weekend. But decluttering the things that are, the rooms that you're in the most, things that you've been pushing off for a while, your desk, your car, whatever it is. I feel like walking into a room, going into a car that's clean, not as much junk around it, your mind isn't thinking about it, your mind's not looking around like, oh, here's like literally there's some books right here, there's some other cords and stuff that I could probably put away, there's a stack of notebooks over there. Like, those are all things like, what can I do with them? Do I need them? Can I throw them out, recycle them? If it's a book, can I donate it? Can I give it to someone else? I was just given a book last week. I've read a chunk of it already, and as I get through it, I'm going to hand it off to someone else, because it's a book about being awesome, so it is an awesome book itself. But just how can you get rid of some of that stuff, clean it up, find a new home for it in a neat manner, so that I kind of get like famous for moving clutter from here to there. And so maybe it's not in the living room anymore, but it's decluttering up in our bedroom, or out in the garage or in the basement or something like that. So that doesn't always solve the problem. It kind of takes it away from right in front of your face, but in the back of your mind, it's there. The last tip is for things like decluttering, for things maybe yard work, housework, things like that have been on your list for a while. I know that causes me some stress is, we have a hole in our ceiling. We've had it for a long time. I don't even want to admit how long it's been there. We had a leak, got the leak taken care of, but we never put the drywall back up, got it patched up and all that stuff. In my defense, I've called 2 people and neither one of them came back or called me back. So I kind of absolved myself a little bit, but I could have called more people in that amount of time. It's been a long time. But just, what are the things that you have on your list that are maybe in the back of your mind nagging you? Oh, I'd love to do this. I should be doing this. I wish I could do this. I don't know what to do about this because the basement is too cluttered and has too much stuff in it. Pay somebody to do it. I know I can't fix that drywall. I have to pay somebody to do it. It's really a phone call, a follow-up, whatever it is that I need to get that done. Our basement's going to be mostly on me. But you know, can I do some of it? Is there someone I can pay? Maybe any neighborhood kids want to come over and help me clean the basement? I'll pay them with something, whatever it is that they want, some money, you know, some good treats or something like that. But yeah, so whatever you need to do to get something done, to get it off your list, especially if it's been there for a long time, I think that gives me the sense that I'm not going to do it because it's not a priority for me, because I know what's important to me right now, and it's not that. So another way to look at that too is, you know, if you don't want to pay for it, if it's something you feel like, oh, I oftentimes get in this mindset of, well, I can do that myself. Why would I pay somebody else to do it? But it really comes down to time, and it should be, why would I take the time to do that when I can pay someone else to do it? Especially if the cost benefit is, the value is there, right? If there's value in somebody doing that, so I can spend my time on something else. I could spend that time making triple that amount of money working on something else. I also like to have the mindset of, if it's less than $500 an hour for me to pay to do it, it's probably worth it for me to do that. So, you know, you might have a dollar amount in your mind that you think, okay, if it's more or less than this, I'm going to have somebody do it or not. Make that high, like make that really high, because you're worth it. You're worth that amount of money, and your time is worth that amount of money. So treat it that way. And so if you can pay somebody to cut the grass whenever you're too busy for it, you know, do the yard work, fix your car, whatever it is, even if you're really good at it. I've kind of backed away from certain things like fixing the car and stuff like that because, well, I screw things up too much, but it's just not worth my time anymore. And so I think if you have that mindset, then you don't worry about that so much. And so maybe that comes back to the money and the financial side of things. Maybe you're now, oh, well, if I'm starting to pay for all these things, now I'm going to have stress over money. That's a whole nother discussion, a whole nother ball game. We can talk about that if you ever want to. But those are my 5 tips. Like I said, if you want to know the kind of foundation for the healthy habits that I've been working on, I'd love to share those with you. Number 1, because I think they would help you. Number 2 is I'd love to get your feedback on it, because I'm working on that for another project that I'm working on. And I would really, really love some feedback from people that are looking for ways in which they can reduce stress, improve some areas of their health. And really my focus is, how can you do that without adding a ton of time to your day? Or like I said, we're all so busy. I think time is one of the biggest stressors that we have. So how can we do things, and how can we either make easy swaps for things that we're already doing, or how can we identify some of the things that we're doing that we can say, yeah, I don't have to do that every single day, so I can fit in 20 minutes here, 10 minutes here, a half an hour there, and find ways that we can change some habits and put some, you know, better, healthier, more productive things into your day that's going to help you in the long run. So hope you got some value out of that. Really appreciate you know, any feedback you guys have on anything that I would share, and have a great night. We'll talk soon.